Welcome to the Tinker Cards video gallery. Today I'm going to do with you a card which has a pop-up feature, but it's not your conventional pop-up feature. We are going to use a strip of acetate to make a birthday cake pop-up. So how we're going to start this, it's quite quick colouring. So I've got a piece of white card and then I've got a corally pink called Cameo Coral. And I'm just going to swipe this quite quickly over my card to colour it a bit. And then next I'm going to allow this to dry for a little while. So whilst that is drying for a while, because I need to stamp something on there, we're going to start on the card front. So I've got a piece of white card here and I got sentiment, and the sentiment is from the vignette It's Your Day set by STAMPlorations, and it's got like loads of happy birthday to you, it's your day, older and wiser, and those sort of things on. So it's actually quite a fun sentiment. So I'm going to stamp that in chocolate chip. And I want it to go about here. That is that. And as you can see, it's got loads of things on, and most importantly, it says half a cupcake. So we're going to have a little birthday cake to go with it. And then next I'll be stamping the word celebrate all the way around. So let's start here. And I'm going to stamp that in the same corally pink that I've coloured my piece of card with. So let's just pop that here. So the word celebrate, just bear with me a moment, I just need to put this a little bit higher. The light is getting in my way. The word celebrate comes from the Celebrate Artsy set by STAMPlorations. So I'm first stamping it on one side at the top edge, and then I'm stamping it on the other side. So here you go. You can get a bit close-ish to the edge, and then I just simply stamp it in between the two. And that's about it. And I'm going to turn it over and do exactly the same. Once. And twice. And then we go into the center. Okay. And now you need to make sure that it is the right way up when you do the next couple of steps. So I'm just going to stamp it quite close in here. And then I'm going to stamp it quite close into the other side as well, and it should just about fit. Yep, there you go. So you got the arc where the sentiment runs along, and the bottom I'm just going to stamp the way up. I'm not going to have it on its head really. So I'm going to do this again, quite close in. And then here, that's that. There you go. So that's pretty much most of your topper done. So if you just leave this for a moment, just pop it to one side, and I'm going to stamp the inside now. Now for the inside, we're going to work with the sketched birthday cake. And I'm just going to use the sentiment because it's your day. I'm going to stamp that in coral again. Sort of towards the bottom left-hand corner here. And then we're going to use the birthday cake. Itself, and we are going to stamp that in chocolate chip for the inside. And I'm going to stamp it partially on and partially off. So it's going to be something like this. So I've just got it slightly off the edge. And then I'm just going to run the edges of for the inside of the card across the ink pad before I go on and do the other bits. So I'm just going to run this now across the edges. Okay, so that will be on the inside of our card. I'm just going to pop this now to one side and allow it to dry. And we're going back to the birthday cake itself and our pre-colored piece here. And now I'm looking for my black Memento ink. So just inking this up again. And then we're going to stamp it on here. So that is that. So pretty much done with all the stamping now. So next what we are going to do is getting a couple of pro markers out. So if I'm just going to do cool grey 1 and cool grey 3 for the edge here. So just doing the inner edge there with cool grey 1. And just to add a little bit of colour. to our stamped image. And then next I'm going to use the antique pink to do the little swirls, the little, I can't quite remember what they're called now. Those little decorating swirly things remind me of walnut whips. So we just do that. And then we do a little bit on the candles. And then we're going to do these here. This is a very, very quick way of colouring this image without needing loads of skills with blending, because it just enhances the sketched image of the cake. This is sort of like very quick adding of colour. So we're down here now. So as you can see, it literally takes almost like seconds to get this done. And you don't have to be exactly precise either, because whatever you leave out is already pre-covered and just will look as if it's a highlight. So that is that. Now, in order just to blend it in a little bit more, I'm just going to use the cocktail pink to colour bits of the icing. Just colouring this bit here. So, there we go. That's that. And I'm just going to give it a little added extra of colour just at the top here to give it more definition. So there you are, that's the cake ready. And now all I'm going to do is quickly cut it out. And it's an image that is actually quite easy to cut out. Just leave a little bit of a border. And with having coloured your card in the way we've done it, your border won't stand out as being really white, which is sometimes, which I personally sometimes don't like, when it's just like a white border around an image. And the danger is that I want to cut in too closely, but then that makes the actual image not look quite right either. So I'm quite happy colouring like this, and then you have to sort of avoid having that white border as well. So that is that. So just almost almost there. So I'm not bothering cutting in between the candles because that would just be a bit too much, I think. Sometimes you can overdo it with fussy cutting. Right. So you're almost there. So you might be much faster at this because I'm not the world's best cutter outer. There we go. That's that done. So you've got your birthday cake here. You've got your pieces here. So I'm going to put some sticky tape on this, on my card front. Let's just do that. And that. Right, so that goes on a piece of chocolate chip cardstock. So as always, I'm just aligning it the way I want it. That's that. So that chocolate chip around here provides a really nice border so there is literally no need to etch your front, the white front with chocolate chip too. Right, and next here there is the trick. So I got a little piece of strip of acetate, probably about 2 centimeters by about 11 or so. Now I'm going to slightly bend it over on one edge here, just about that, and that is what is going to sit behind my cake. So in order to stick that on, I'm going to get a glue dot. Oh, where are they? Here they are. Just get a glue dot to stick on there. So if you stick that about sort of halfway up your cake, probably sort of here. That's that. And I'm going to just slightly fold it flat again because I want my cake to be approximately here. So I've got that. Something like that. And so I wanted to go about here. It will pop up a little bit further, so it will move out towards the side again. That's not a problem. And then I'm just going to fold my acetate over. And now I shouldn't have put my sticky backs on already. but that can also be an advantage. So I'm just going to pop and stick my acetate down here. Put that down and snip something off. So that's that. I didn't need all of it, so that's okay. So I'm just going to stick another glue dot on here for later on when I stick it down. There you go. Just going to do that. Right. So this is what the cake will then look like. It will pop up and sort of float above your card. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stick it onto my card front. You might have seen I've done a little bit extra here, so I can quite easily pull that out later because the glue dot wasn't sitting quite behind my tape, and I don't want it to stick to the card before I've aligned it properly, so I just made sure that it was going to work, hopefully. So let's just pop this way around, and I've got a sort of a yellow card which reminds me of a sort of what they do in order to sort of at some point, like vanilla custard and stuff. It's always got like a nice yellowy colour, so I thought it would go really well with the cake theme, I suppose. So there's this, and then I'm going to get this out too, and that's sticking down now quite nicely. And I'm going over to the other side, and that's that. So let's pop that in. So you can see now a bit better as to what it does. So let's just do that again. So it just pops it up and it wobbles a little bit in front of the card. I'm just going to put some sticky on the inside, and then we're going to stick that down, and then the card is ready. I'll do that off camera. Let's just pop it on like this. So that will then sit in here for your greeting to go on, and all I'll be doing is adding a little bit of glitter glue to the top of the candles and just a little bit around the edges there, and then the card is ready. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.